So the U.S. is sending carrier groups to the Middle East, folks. So stock up on those canned goods. The
Yeah.
U.S. is sending a carrier strike group, a fighter squadron, and additional warships to the Middle East as the region braces for an Iranian retaliation to the killing of a senior Hamas leader in Tehran earlier this week. It is perhaps the largest movement of U.S. forces to the region since the early days of the Gaza war, when the Pentagon sent two carrier strike groups toward the Middle East in a very public warning to regional militant groups not to expand the fighting. Israel says it's ready for range of scenarios following the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh in Iran. Israelis have been stocking up on supplies, airlines have canceled flights, and travel warnings are in place with the region on alert for an Iranian response. Quote, we've heard the supreme leader loud and clear that he intends to avenge this killing of a Hamas leader in Tehran and that they want to conduct another attack on Israel. John Kirby, the strategic communications coordinator for the National Security Council, told CNN, quote, we can't just assume that we are also potentially going to be victims of that kind of an attack. So we've got to make sure we've got the right resources and capabilities in the region, unquote. On Friday, Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin ordered the USS Abraham Lincoln Strike Group to replace the USS Theodore Roosevelt Strike Group, which is currently operating in the Gulf of Oman, according to a statement from Pentagon Deputy Press Secretary Sabrina Singh. In addition, destroyers and cruisers capable of ballistic missile defense will also be sent to the Middle East and the Mediterranean Sea. The statement does not say which warships have been sent, but two U.S. destroyers in the eastern Mediterranean Sea took part in intercepting the barrage of strikes Iran launched against Israel in April. Austin also ordered the deployment of a fighter squadron to the region, Singh said. The U.S. already has the USS Wasp amphibious assault ship in the region, which operates with the 24th Marine Expeditionary Unit, capable of carrying out an evacuation of U.S. citizens in Lebanon should it be ordered. The United States global defense is dynamic, and the Department of Defense retains the capability to deploy on short notice to meet evolving national security threats, Singh said in the statement. Kuwaiti Airlines on Saturday became the latest airline to suspend all flights to Beirut due to the current situation in the region. The airline said its last flight to the Lebanese capital will be at 12 p.m. local time on Sunday from Kuwait City. The company did not clarify when it would resume flights. Other airlines, including Air France and Lufthansa, have also canceled their flights to Beirut amidst heightened fears of a regional escalation. Within Israel, there have been reports of citizens stocking up at supermarkets. The Victory supermarket chain, now that's not a Marshall culture, the Victory supermarket chain, says sales of some goods are up 30% compared to regular sales. It told CNN that people mostly buy canned food, cereals, pasta, toilet paper, frozen meat, bottled water, and hygiene wipes. According to Benjamin Netanyahu, nothing goes with genocide like a squeaky clean ass. The Jerusalem, that's on the box. The Jerusalem municipality has issued instructions to people on what to do in the event of the city coming under attack. In a file, it said residents must be able to reach bomb shelters in 90 seconds. Quote, residents are advised to clean and prepare their bomb shelters in advance, the file says. You do not want a dirty bomb shelter in World War III.
Yeah.
Um, Iran has vowed to attack Israel for the assassination of Hamas political leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. Israel has not commented on the killing. U.S. officials said the anticipated Iranian attack could occur in the coming days, and the U.S. is closely watching the region for any indications of how it might play out. Officials said the attack may be similar to the barrage of ballistic missiles and drones Iran launched against Israel in April, but it could also be larger and more complex, coordinated with Iranian proxies in the region. Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah hinted that a coordinated attack on Israel could be in the works after Israel assassinated one of the Iran-backed group's top commanders in Beirut less than 24 hours before the killing of Haniyeh. Quote, because they have picked a fight with everyone, they don't know where the response will come from. The response will come separately or coordinated, he said in a speech Thursday. So this has kind of gone viral, this footage of people trying to flee the airport in Lebanon. The U.S., the U.K., and France have all urged their citizens to leave. So let's take a look. So supposedly some people have been waiting at the airport for days to get out of the country. So it's definitely starting to get that last helicopter out of Saigon vibe in Beirut. You also had, I believe it was Cathay Airlines just canceled the only direct flights between Hong Kong and Tel Aviv, with other airlines probably to follow. So what are your thoughts, Tusker?
I mean, there was a whole lot in that. You had, going back to John Kirby saying, and he kind of said it right there. He said, well, we didn't have anything to do with this, and so the assumption that Iran will just attack us, that's not a guarantee because we didn't have anything to do with this. So to me, it even says at the State Department level that there's a little bit of a rinsing your hands of Israel's actions in that regard, because it was incredibly escalatory, on top of the fact that the strike that the Hamas political leader that they ended up killing was the main negotiator for the ceasefire and hostage negotiations and a peace, to where we could work on either a two-state or a one-state or whatever type of solution we want after the war. So that was, that's also just a peremptory strike from Israel that indicates that they absolutely do not want peace. They are intent on drawing us in, and we're just sending some carrier battle groups over there. Not that we're involved, but just in case, just in case we need to swing some elbows around the Middle East, like we haven't done that enough in the past 30 years, So
this is the game Israel has been playing for 76 years, and they're not even trying to hide it at this point. Netanyahu, Time magazine remarkably ran an article whose headline was something along the lines of Netanyahu wants the U.S. at war in the Middle East, because he has every incentive. This war ends. He's up on corruption charges. Right. All of the political backlash he's faced for the way he's run his office has all been suspended by this. So this is the worst case scenario. You have a psychopathic maniac running this country who will think nothing, who has every incentive of forcing the U.S. into a military response that will ignite World War III. Given that these people's whole claim to that region is based on the Bible, maybe they should look at the book of Revelations, because it's supposed to start there.
Please clap.